yeah, 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 oh, yeah, yeah, born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know, yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again, and love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace, happiness and joy forever. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But in the end, love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Said it in His word. Keep it made. Endure the night. Love will conquer all. Love will win the fight. So don't be discouraged. Don't be dismayed. The darkest hour is just before the light. Hate will be crushed, fear will be gone, love will remain and go on and on. Though the road seems rough, my friend, we know how the journey ends. Oh, yeah. Love will reign. Love will
That was Kier Coleman Ward, one of my favorite artists who has an amazing project entitled Love Will Reign. And he has been so kind to allow us to use Love Will Reign as our theme song for our Tuesday evening Love and Stuff. So listen, whether you're watching us from the Love and Stuff community page from which we emanate, the Marcus R. Holmes page on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube events, on Twitch. I think I said every place that we could be. Oh, and tonight on LinkedIn Live, and I only tuned in LinkedIn tonight. I normally don't do Love and Stuff on LinkedIn, but because I wanted to shout out everybody across all platforms who did such an amazing thing for me. As many of you may know, I turned double nickels on April 17th at 10:32 p.m. And boy, from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube events, uh, to the inboxes, of course, to Facebook and to LinkedIn Live, which surprised me, but the inboxes were flooded with happy birthdays to me. I had to say to all of you across all platforms, though I've tried to respond to each of you individually because that is just how I do. I think I have about 20 more people to say individually happy. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. Maybe it was just a click to you to say, click, happy birthday. But to me, it's a celebration of life, which is why you see the different clips and videos and snippets of me celebrating other birthdays, because I believe that life is a gift. And if you are present, it is a present. Your presence, one great theologian once said to me, the gift of your presence is a present. And so I want to be responsible for saying thank you and letting you know how grateful I am that so many of you decided to say happy birthday to me. It was an amazing day. I'm not done celebrating. Um, I have 5 things that I'm kind of lifting up in my year, and I challenge you to do the same, which is one of the reasons that I included LinkedIn, because I want you every year that you get to say, I'm going to get better. And so I have 5 foci or 5 focuses that I have for the year. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we go throughout this evening, our time together. And I hope that whether you are on LinkedIn Live or Twitch or YouTube events or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, that you will click share, tag 5 of your closest friends, subscribers, followers, connections, 5 of the more popular ones to join us in this discussion. But I challenge you that take, so for me, I'm double nickels, right? It's double grace if you believe in numbers at all. The number 5 represents grace. And so I'm taking 5 things that I think will help me to be better, to achieve more, to do more. Now, you might be 66 this year, or 44, or 33, and you might decide to choose that number or any number for any reason. But I think we should all challenge ourselves to be better than what we are today. Hello, Michael Flanoyle on Facebook. Thank you. Those of you that are on TikTok, thank you so much. We're vibrating high, so bring your vibrations up in those comments. Um, I would say this is good if you do it at the beginning of the year, sure, but the beginning of your birthday year is a great time to do it as well. So, those 5 things we're going to talk about in a little bit. I'm going to kind of digress from our topic at a point to talk about those things. So, I want you to stay tuned so that you can think about the 5 things or 8 things or 3 things that you can do that will help to make you better. It's something that I've shared with my niece, my sweetest, sweetie girl in the whole wide world, who is completing her 2nd year in law school and has just been elected the president of the 3L class. And I'm saying we have to always be improving who we are, being the best of ourselves, the highest expression of ourselves in this world by the power that God has given you and I to create and be, to co create an amazing life and world under his auspices and power. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But we are on a journey of self care. Self care is our definition, your love and your gratefulness speaking to your worthiness, right? You have to feel worthy, that your mind, body, and soul deserves something. It is worth something. Your total being is worth something. And so when we're talking about this love mantra that we always talk about, the quintessential love that is God, He has written chapters about us and willed our lives through His love. He is love. And He wants us to love Him back with everything we have and our neighbor as ourselves. Actually, the scripture said, Jesus said, on these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets, meaning that everything that came before, everything that was put in covenant, everything that was put into law, that these two things cause all those things to hang in the balance. Everything hangs on this, that we would love the Lord our God with all that we have, I'm paraphrasing, and that we would love our neighbor as ourselves. So there is a self-love component that often goes unrecognized that we should tune into. And part of that self-love is taking care, being worthy enough to take care of mind, body, and soul. So it's a 12-month journey. And we have a group called Inside Love and Stuff that is on that 12-month journey. And I wanted to invite you, including our friends at LinkedIn, to go to that Facebook page. That's right. I'm trying to get you all to go to one place and join the Inside group. What's the group? It's just a group of people who are committed to bettering themselves. The first month of this year was all about sleep. Believe it or not, we started there because if you get the proper amount of rest, your body begins to respond to that and prepare you for every day and all of the things, the amazing things that you have to do, right? The second month was all about what you eat. Not living to eat, but eating to live. What are you feeding yourself, right? That month is all about that. March is all about marching into fitness. And fitness is going to look differently for each person depending on where you are in your journey. So the focus in March was all about fitness. Now we're in April, almost to the end. And this month is all about setting healthy boundaries. Setting healthy boundaries for yourself about what you should and shouldn't do, what you could and couldn't do, about your consumption, about your adoration, maybe addiction, maybe idolatry, right? Setting healthy boundaries in relationships, learning to say no. And sometimes no simply means not yet, not now, not me. Okay. It's seeking to have balance or this integrated balance for your life, that all things can be well at home, at work, at school, or play, right? So that you set boundaries. Some people like to have demarcations. Okay, this is when work ends and this is when life begins. Sometimes it's not as simple as that, right? But you definitely want to set healthy boundaries for yourself. And that's difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser. Very difficult to do because you're always in the mode of caring for somebody else. But pouring from a half-filled cup does not serve you or the people that you want to love on well. So it's about setting boundaries for yourself. And so from the inbox, we decided to delve into the inbox because we knew we had some inbox topics. People inbox us different topics and they choose to be anonymous or not. And we broach those topics so that we learn from the topic conversation and share with others, all in the hopes that you up your love game for yourself, your community, and those around. And so from the inbox topic, I think it's posted in most places. Forgive me if you don't see it on TikTok. They restrict the number of letters that you can put in the comments. But here is the topic. Dear Love and Stuff, I'm a 49-year-old widow, educator, and proud mother of one adult son. My husband passed away 6 years ago. He wasn't my son's biological father, but he raised him with love, even though he often warned me that I was overcompensating. Can anybody relate to that? My son's father lives out of state and has never been consistent. So yes, I probably did too much. And now I'm paying for it. My son is 27 and just moved out 2 years ago. He lives with his girlfriend, but still brings his laundry to my house, still pops in for dinner, and still asks for money, which he rarely pays back. I didn't see the harm until his girlfriend pulled me aside and said I'm the reason he's spoiled, bad with money, and emotionally overbearing. She said I'm the problem. I'm hurt. But I'm also starting to wonder, is she right? I don't want to push my son away, but I also don't want to keep him dependent. How do I set better boundaries now without damaging the bond we've built? So I'm raising this to you because I want your input. I've shared some things and will share some things with you that I shared with her. Of course, I'm not a love guru. I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm just a loveologist. And what I do is synthesize the best of information that I've gotten from tons of different people, married couples, divorced couples, widowed, all different types of folks. Some of them of a psychological ilk, if you will, in the hopes that we will share information that challenges you about what you're doing in your relationships. And maybe some of this might resonate with someone somewhere about how you might set boundaries where you may have overcompensated with or for someone. So I want to hear from you. Again, she is a widow, and her son, who is an adult son, she's really overcompensated for him. And she's wondering, okay, now how do I set boundaries now that I've literally ruined him? Her words, not mine. How do I set boundaries now that this grown son has been so pampered that his girlfriend is saying, oh, I see what the problem is, his mama. And she kind of says, as she said, when she told her that, she was hurt. But she's also starting to wonder, is the girlfriend right? She doesn't want to push her son away, but she also doesn't want to keep him dependent. How does she set better boundaries now without damaging the bond that they've built? Okay, so I'm going to hear from you about that. I'm going to take a quick break because we have some amazing partners. One of them is an amazing partner right here in the Metro Detroit area, but don't worry if you're not in Detroit. She can ship her product everywhere. Her name is June Rochelle Eaton, and she is the owner of DetroitCouture.com. She is an online amazing boutique of one-of-a-kind pieces, ladies and gentlemen who want to buy for your significant other. Mother's Day is coming up. You want to buy just that outfit. Award season is on us. High school graduations, college graduations, dinner parties, proms, you name it. Detroit Couture is at the forefront with amazing designs, amazing pieces. And I want you to learn a little bit about June Rochelle Eaton and Detroit Couture, who are amazing partners for us. We believe in supporting small businesses. So if you have a small business and you want us to shout you out, please inbox us. We'd love to run your promo because we believe that the only way that we can help our small businesses to grow is to grow their brand and reputation everywhere. So this is DetroitCouture.com.
Hi, my name is June Rochelle, and I own Detroit Couture. We are a fashion forward women's boutique, and we offer friendly sizes from small all the way up to 3X women's sizes, very generously fit, very great quality. I actually have on one of our pieces today. It's called the Cuffed Up. It's in gray, burgundy, and black and olive, and it actually has a lot of stretch and give. So listen, in this time, we try to make sure that first of all, it's quality and customer service that we offer our clients. And I'm so glad to have this opportunity to share with you. So go and visit us at DetroitCouture.com.
Go visit her at DetroitCouture.com. June, we are so proud to be partners with you, and we're looking forward to doing some more amazing things. June has been fantastic in supporting our events and efforts. She's done free giveaways, and people have walked away with some amazing, valuable pieces that I was just like, wow, how grateful can we be to have small businesses who invest in small businesses? We're in this together. And so we're so grateful, and thank you, June. I see in the comments, Mike Flanoil says the challenges for her are going to be immense because that young man is already set to realize that his mom is his safety net, and that's not easy to overcome. We're talking to you about this inbox topic from a 49-year-old widow who says that her son, basically, she spoiled him and she overcompensated because his dad wasn't in his life, even though he had a stepdad who seems to have done a pretty decent job, according to her. And her son just moved out a couple years ago. He's 27 years old, and he's moved in with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend has had enough. She's saying, you should take him back because you spoiled him. He is rotten. Can anybody relate to that? Any women out there, any men out there who are saying, I can see the spoilage, right? You can meet somebody and tell that they're rotten, right? And some parents take great pride in that. Um, what they're often doing is overcompensating for something, right? There is a parent that hasn't been fully engaged. There is a situation that happened. They might still be living out their own traumas of what they didn't receive as a child. And so they're going to overcompensate for their children. All well intended, but does it have a negative impact that's hard to overcome, as you hear Mike Flanoil saying? I want to hear from you. I can see your comments, so if you drop them everywhere, I will read them aloud because I can't see the TikTok comments among the restream, but most everywhere else, I can see the comments. I think Kamal Williams is watching us on Instagram. Thank you so much. So if you drop a comment there, Kamal, I'll see whether or not it populates and restream. I just want to see which comments are coming across so that I'll be able to respond to the comments. All right. And so I wanted to thank you for those likes. Thank you, Joyce Snow, for joining. Click share wherever you are. Harold Granberg on TikTok, thank you for joining. TikTok, I know you can't see all of the things, but I wanted to keep you looped in for our Tuesday night Love and Stuff Welcome and LinkedIn Live as well. I brought LinkedIn Live tonight. I normally don't do Love and Stuff on LinkedIn Live, but we are going to be sharing our 5 areas of focus going into this 55th year, our double year of grace. And I want to challenge anybody who wants to join us in our we're kind of making a clarion call from a master class kind of request. If not now, when? And I will talk about that in just a few moments. All right. So here are some of the things that I thought were important to share with this woman. And just from talking to different people, I'm always talking to people, garnering their experiences and their advice and synthesizing them to share with other people. So call me the love reporter, right? I am reporting on love. I'm sharing what couples who've been married 66 years or 6 months, people who are widowed and remarried, or people who are widowed and not married, people who are living together, all different types of relationships, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, fathers and sons, fathers and daughters, all different types of relationships, and synthesizing those successes and perspectives in the hope that you and I might glean from them to up our love game, to improve the love relationships that we have. Okay. So I talked to her about 4 ways that I thought might be helpful to setting healthy boundaries without breaking the bond, which Mike Flanoil raised pretty early here, and I appreciate that. It will be hard to do. Any habit that you form, any foundation that you built, it won't crack easy, right? It won't crack easily. So it'll take some time to work at. But I think it's an important thing to set boundaries for yourself. And one of them, number 1, is switching from rescuing to redirecting. From rescuing to redirecting. It's a tough task. I know as a parent, I am often I am in conversation with Autumn, and I know times that she will say, I'm her uncle, but I'm like a second dad. And in time she will say, why don't you just tell me what to do? Why are you asking me these questions? Why don't you just tell me what to do? You used to tell me what to do. And it's tough not to tell your young adults what to do. Do this, do that, do this. I find myself, even with young people in organization where I work, sometimes I want to tell them exactly what to do. But I find myself going back to the coaching style to ask them probing questions. So when the son comes to her with a problem, one of the things I told her she should do is don't fix it. Ask probing and guiding questions and suggest resources, adult level resources, financial advisor, therapist, because this keeps you involved, but not responsible. And so I know that's a tough one, right? Because you're used to just saying to your young adult or to whomever, this is what you need to do. If I were you, I'd do this, right? But at some point, all that you poured into them, all that you've invested into them has to bring a return on the capital, the investment that you employed. And I know, especially the Black mama, I got to say this, I may be partial. The Black mama has built a country and rebuilt a country after war and had babies for men that came back from war and helped them to raise those kids and help to build dynasties, empires, businesses, and organizations. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So they're used to being the fixer, especially mamas. And I'm going to say Black mamas, but especially mamas. So it is in your DNA almost. It's in your nature to just fix stuff. I'm just going to fix it. Never mind, give it here. I'm going to fix it. And I found myself saying, okay, all right, I could fix that for Autumn. Okay, let me see. And I've seen in her eyes where she's like, just fix it. You know that look they give you, please just fix it. And you want to just fix it, right? But what you do instead of fixing it is redirect them to solutions. Consider your options. Ask them guiding questions, probing questions, suggesting resources to them, which keeps you a partner in it, right? But not the responsible partner for pushing the button, making the decision. Always saying to them, now that whatever decision you make, I support you, but it's one that you're going to have to live with. And hopefully over time, you begin to teach them and redirect them that I'm not going to rescue you, especially not every time. These are problems, some of them you made yourself, and you're going to need to fix yourself. And lovingly and sometimes firmly guiding them through questions to really awaken, spark, nudge their critical thinking skills, because they can solve more problems than they're letting on. Michael Flanoa says she's not going to be able to overcome the guilt and thinking she's turning her back on her son, but the best thing for him is to receive tough love at this point. Yes, I believe a dose of tough love is helpful. And I believe if she's really, really connected, Mike, to the fact that she's probably, though she's probably spoiled and rotten, she's probably equipped him with some tools that he could survive longer than a day if he was in a typhoon. He probably could survive. And many of the things that we do going to the rescue aren't really earth shattering as we think. They will survive. We just don't want them to experience heartbreak, or we don't want them to experience suffer or struggling. But these are character building and defining moments in their lives that we can't really rob them of. So one of the foci that you have to say to yourself, if I'm rescuing, am I robbing them of the experience of growing up, of adulting? And Autumn will tell you, I hate adulting. She says, you never told me adulting was going to be this, but adulting is as it is. And she's learning to fix some of those problems. And I offer as much praise as I can when she comes and says, I started to call you, but I figured this out. This is what I did. And even if it isn't what I would do, I say, that is a great decision. Now, did you consider this and this? I redirect and say, hey, there's other options. And you made a decision. I'm proud that you made the decision. And that's a behavior that you want to reinforce to help people to do, right? So that was the first thing I shared. The second thing I shared that I loved, I got a long time ago, and I think it's great advice to use, especially if you're in the situation, is to establish a 2 yes policy for request. Okay. Give me some likes or loves if you're tracking with me on TikTok and other places. Establish a 2 yes policy for request. Okay. So before you answer request, saying yes to dinner, cooking dinner, if you're empty nester, you might not cook on a specific day. So if your child said, "What you cooking? I'm on my way." Before you say yes to dinner or to laundry, which costs water or money, ask yourself these 2 questions. Does this serve him or her, your child? And does this respect my space? Does it serve him? Not does it enable him? Not does it spoil him? Does it serve him or her? And does it respect my space? And if it's not a yes to both, it's a no. Only when it is a yes to both. Does it serve? Does this really helping or is this enabling them? Does it serve them? Is there really a need for this? And does it respect my space, my right to live in my home, be in my home, have dinner alone, have dinner with a date? Does it respect my space? If it's not a double yes, it's a no. That's a 2 yes policy for request that I gave to her that I got, it feels like more than 20 years ago. I was talking to an older gentleman who said he felt so badly for his son-in-law because he had ruined his life. He said he had so spoiled his daughter that he didn't half want to be bothered with her, let alone her husband. And the husband called and said, "What have you done? She is just, this. He said, "I told my son-in-law it's a 2 yes policy. If what she's asking for you doesn't really serve her, really doesn't help her, doesn't enable her to stand on her own, it doesn't empower her, better word, to be able to be more independent, more resilient, less codependent, and if it doesn't respect what you got going on, say no." And he said, no, it's hard to say, but when you got a double yes that's not answered, it's a little easier. When you put that equation up and say, "Here's my policy," it's a 2 yes policy, and ask yourself these 2 questions, you begin to formulate the no. And sometimes, again, in setting healthy boundaries, saying no sometimes is not now. Sometimes it's saying not yet, which is a not now of sorts. And sometimes it's saying not me. Yes, you can have dinner, but you need to cook it. Not me. Yes, you can do your laundry and you need to go to the laundromat. Not mine. So you begin to set these boundaries, and no's to somebody you love can be difficult. But if you know that what you would be saying yes to doesn't serve them and doesn't respect your space, it should give you a little bit more comfort about the no. It doesn't always make it easier, but you got to practice and start it somewhere. All right. We're going to be continuing from the inbox in just a second. I hope that this information is interesting and helpful to you. I have to tell you that the Love and Stuff community wouldn't be a community without people like you who are committed to improving their relationships. Could be work relationships, personal relationships, and infusing love. And I know love is for some a taboo statement when it comes to workplace relationships, but there are things in the relationships that you admire and should groom and should develop. And so in the Love and Stuff community, we wear the brand that we love the brand we wear, and we try to live the brand. And so we want to encourage you to do the same and consider this. What you wear says something about you, about who you are, what you believe, and what you stand for. So here in the Love and Stuff community, we wear the brand that we live, and we live the brand that we wear because we love the brand. It's all about increasing the amount of love in the world and upping our love game. And if that's what you're about, you should wear it too. That's what you're about. That's what you're about. You should wear it too. And so the Love and Stuff brand includes a number of different products. Among them, I have to show you the My Love is Front and Center product, which is not just a sweatshirt as we're transitioning into spring. It also comes in a t-shirt. And this monicum is really for those people who say, hey, I want companionship. I want camaraderie. I want love. Well, guess what? If you don't wear your love front and center, no one will know that you're available to be loved. And sometimes, because of traumas, because of situations and circumstances, we veil our love, right? We mask our love. We protect it. We're afraid. But love must be vulnerable to be experienced. The quintessential love became vulnerable enough to lay down his life for friends, right? And so, in similar fashion, you have to be vulnerable enough for someone to step inside of your space, into your love space, and experience you. So, that's what this part of our brand is all about. My love is front and center. Of course, we can't forget in the environment that we're in, everyone is not in the fight for love. Some people are in the fight for other things, but we believe love over racism. We believe love over all of these isms that are impacting our world. And I don't think I even have to tell you what is impacting our world. You are seeing it live in living color on every platform just about every day. And so we invite you to join that movement in our love over racism, our love for justice team, are an amazing team of brilliant legal minds and brilliant political minds who are helping us to stand up for love in a world where it's marginalizing everyone else at the cost of love, right? Then the gratefulness journey every day, which is a journey for people who understand that your life should be filled with gratefulness, that you have so much for which to be grateful. And even when you're struggling to put your mind around the words, that you realize that there is something in your life that if you took inventory of, you could have a list of things for which you're grateful. So we'd like for you to join the gratefulness journey every day. What is that? 3 things you're grateful for, saying them every day aloud, speaking them to 3 people. You do that for 30 days. You're on the gratefulness journey with us every day, and you will watch the power, the amazing power, transformative power of gratefulness in your life as a practice. Then there is the Love and Stuff signature shirt, our brand ambassador, Richard Dickey Mason, which we got to get him some more gear so they can be out there. He's an actor, he's a entrepreneur, and he is just smashing the game with all of this. And we're so proud that he wears our stuff on different sets when he's doing different roles. And so we're grateful for Richard Dickey Mason, and you'll be hearing more from him. All of these come in different colors and sizes, and they're just amazing products, durable products. I want to just highlight a I'm going to highlight the Gratefulness Journey Everyday book, which is available. We're going to be transitioning this book from Amazon until we hear more of the talks that are happening with Amazon and their repositioning on DEI. But this book accompanies the Gratefulness Journey every day. The journey started, and then I wrote this book, and I want you to be encouraged to get the book and see why gratefulness became a practice for me after losing both parents and 3 of my 4 siblings. It's certainly a practice that has transformed my life. All right, there's also another book that I've authored called All Shades of Girl. This one is not on Amazon. You can get this directly from the Shopify store. It is a coloring book and storybook for little girls. My hope is that it will help them embrace their self-identity. It is inspired by the story of one of our members of the Gratefulness Journey every day, Sonia Charisse, who experienced colorism as a young girl. And so it walks through a story, Charisse's story, about her journey through colorism, coming to an epiphany that God has created all of us. He's created every hue beautiful. And so Color Me Beautiful is available. There is a t-shirt that goes along with that. This is the adult team. Again, comes in all colors and sizes. This is the adult workout tee. If you're into going to the gym and you wear the power workout or performance tee, this comes in multicolors. Sweatshirt is, some people might still wear it in the spring. That is available as well as the um, t-shirt for the young girls is available, and the workout tee for the young girls is available as well. So all of those products, we love the brand Love and Stuff. We live the brand and we wear the brand, and we want to do all three. We want to not only love the brand that we wear, not only wear the brands that we love, we want to live the brand. And we want to live love more intentionally in every area of our lives, which we believe ultimately improves our lives, the relationships that we're in, and the world around us. So, all right, getting back to the topic, thank you so much. We shared number one, switch from rescuing to redirecting. Number two, another healthy way to set a healthy boundary without breaking the bond with your adult child who might be a little spoiled, just a little bit, is to establish a 2 yes policy for request. So we shared those two. The third that I shared from our inbox topic of the 49-year-old mother who feels that she may have rotten her son, especially based on what his girlfriend is telling her, that the reason that he's not a good manager of money, the reason that he's emotionally overbearing and spoiled is because of his mother. Now, that would be a tough thing to hear from a girlfriend, I would imagine. But the mother says she might be right. It's something worth considering. And I appreciate that she was open enough to hear that critique from her maybe one day daughter-in-law. Who knows? Number three is to introduce transitional traditions. And this is a good one, I think, because if you have a son or daughter who comes over every week for meals or chores, you can shift the ritual. You can change it up, right? Change the cadence, invite him and his girlfriend or her and her boyfriend over for a monthly dinner where you talk about adult things, where you talk about adulting, where you talk about bills, where you talk about boundaries, where you talk about building healthy homes, building healthy relationship, building healthy self-esteem. You talk about things that will be needed for them to be successful adults. And they know these transitional traditions are going to be centered around bonding around being adult, being interdependent, being independent, being resilient, using wisdom. And you build a tradition around that when we come together for those things that you would have done as meals and chores or whatever, on my time, once a month or once every other week or whatever cadence work, we're going to talk about adulting. It's a good way to have transitional conversations and make it a tradition so that it becomes a practice where, okay, now we're going to regularly talk about these adulting type things. All right. Okay. And then number four, having a loving, checking you out. Thank you so much over there on TikTok. Having a loving yet firm talk. Sit him down, not as a lecture, more of a legacy, where you let him know that loving him doesn't mean enabling him, that you're proud, but you also see that you're oversharing or you're overgiving, and that might stall or stunt his growth. And being aware of that, you're choosing a new path for the both of you. And how can we co-create this new path? Let's co-create the boundaries in this new path where I'm not enabling you, except empowering you to grow. I'm not oversharing or overgiving. We're co-creating responsibilities where you give some and you take some so that your growth is not stunted or stalled. Now, for some, it's going to be an accountability partnership. And believe it or not, was doing some coaching, and shared an accountability partnership agreement. And if you're interested in that across any of these platforms, drop in the inbox. I'll get it to you for free. It is where you draft an agreement with someone or an organization or a team where you say, here are the things that need to improve. Here's how we partner to do those things. Here's the date by which we will do it. And here's what success and here's what milestones look like along the way. You begin to co-create a different future, a different outcome, a different relationship based on terms that you can both agree upon. Now, in some circles, that sounds like a performance improvement plan. It could be. The difference is you share an accountability. Normally, a performance improvement plan, these are things you need to do to keep your job or improve. But when you share, when it's accountability, you both have a role. You both have milestones. You both have a similar or same or aligned vision of what success looks like, what those outcomes look like. And you both are committed to helping each other get there. Okay. And if you're interested in that, Dr. Audrey Turner has joined us. Thank you so much. Drop that in the comments. I'll be happy to share that with you. And so that was number 4. Again, number 1, these 4 ways to set healthy boundaries without breaking the bond, switching from rescuing to redirecting. That's number 1. Establishing a 2 yes policy for request. That's number 2. So does this serve the other person well, and does it respect your space? If not yes to both, it's a no. Okay. Number 3, introducing transitional traditions, going from a cadence of every day doing meals or every week doing laundry to once a month, and it's centered around some activity that is going to empower them to be independent. Talking about bills, talking about chores, talking about boundaries, talking about healthy homes and healthy relationships. Okay. And number 4, having the loving yet firm talk. And that could include coming to an accountability partnership agreement. All right. So those are the things that I share. If there are others that you think should be shared, I'd love for you to drop those in the comments so that we can share that with the inbox. All right. As I promised at the beginning, I am going to share with you now. Last Thursday, April 17th, was my 55th birthday, double grace, double nickels or nothing is my saying. And at 10:32 p.m., I was born in Grace Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. And I am just so grateful to have seen 55. I have a few friends, very close friends, that didn't make it to 55. And I can't tell you the angst sometimes I feel that they're not here to celebrate with me. But there are still things for me to do. If God has awakened me, and he has today at least, there is still purpose for me. And I believe the same for you. And if you and I are to accomplish those things, especially the things that we have only dreamt of, the things that we said, oh, I don't know if I'm still able to do that. Now, if not now, when? So I decided, as a part of the pursuit of that, I shared with Autumn, who is like my daughter, who is my niece, 5 things that we are sharing together that we are working on, that we believe will help us to reach goals, help us to become a higher actualization, expression of the love that God intended for us to be in this world, in this earth school, as I call it. And you should do the same. I want to challenge you to do the same, that you will say, it's not over. It's not over. I heard someone preaching that just recently. The story isn't over. Okay. Your story isn't over until God says it's over. So the question then is, well, then what is there for you to do? Are there things that there are for you to do? I believe there are. And if not now, when? When will you start doing them? When will you do the prep work necessary to open the doors? Will you be ready if God opened the door? There is a saying that I say as I'm coaching, I will give gratefulness to God by handling the blessings that I already have. And in response to that, as an act of faith, He will unlock the abundance that is yet to come, and I will receive it. I don't believe it's really God waiting us. It's like we're saying, oh, I'm waiting on God. And that might be true. But I think most of the waiting is God waiting on us to come to the door ready, to come to the opportunity ready, to come to the situation ready with the confidence and boldness and courage and to face what is before us, which is only meant for us to have a higher actualization, a higher expression of the love that God has released for us to be in this world. And He's waiting on us to both be good stewards over what we have and to make ourselves ready for what is yet in store, right? And so a part of that for us are 5 things. And I'm going to share these 5 things with you. The first of the 5 things for me, and probably the most important to me, is prayer. Now, I'm a person of prayer, a man of faith, and pretty early on, I was taught and learned the power of prayer. But I want to be more intentional in my prayer time and more strategic around what I'm praying for, how often and when. And my hope is that the quintessential love, God, Holy Spirit will speak and guide and lead me in the direction of the things that are before me to do. So prayer is the first thing, more prayer. Now, I'm the kind of person that I do pray in the morning. And if you're following the gratefulness journey every day, you know that a part of the gratefulness journey every day in your practice of meditation in the morning is to lie awake in the providence of God and bask in that moment to know that God decided to wake you up. And for that, you should be grateful. And you should be grateful for what you experience first thing in the morning, the tingling in your fingers of your habit, the touching of the cotton of your bedding, the smell of the room, or the lemon in your water, whatever it is, you should be connected with your senses so that you awaken in moments of gratefulness, right? But also powerful in those moments of meditation, powerful in that time can be your prayer time. So I awaken some time in prayer, but I'm a person that prays throughout the day. So if someone texts me and say, oh, please pray for me, I'm not the person that writes it down and say, oh, got to remember to pray for them. I text them back a prayer because I'm praying right then. And as I'm driving, I may be praying, Lord, some people say, well, what is that? Lord, take me the fastest way. Take me the safest way to where I need to go. Redeem my time. Help me redeem the time. Lord, where should I stop? I'm having those conversations as I go throughout the day. Lord, help my tongue, because my tongue is quick-witted. It's Herbert Holmes reincarnated 2.0. Help me with my tongue. Help me with what I should say. Help me with the temperament. Help me with this negotiation. Help me. That's my way. But I want to spend more time and be more intentional in prayer. So for me, that's first. The second is related to it, in my opinion. It's more discipline. It's building more consistent habits that will lead me to the outcomes that I say that I want, or will convince me that those are not the outcomes for me. Part of that is I want to have a healthier diet. And because I'm turning 55, my doctor said, these labs are somebody else's. They're out of this world. And that wasn't good. So we have to do some things about our diet. We have to do some things about our wellness. We have to do some things about our sleep. We have to do some things about our hydration. And he said, these are all about consistency. It's not enough to drink a glass of water here or there. You need to drink this many a day. You need to have your tumbler, and you need to do this as a regular part of your habit. So for me, discipline is building small habits that lead to bigger habits that are going to be consistent, that keeps me disciplined in every area of my life. That means that will help me get to Broadway, which is one of the things that I want to do, that I've given myself permission to say aloud. That's given me the vision for how I will manifest um, being a professor at the collegiate level, building these habits. If not now, when? Right? So discipline is number 2. Number 3 is being more kind. Now, I believe that I'm a very kind person, but I also know I'm a very direct person. And that directness could show up differently than I intend. And so it is incumbent upon me to be more kind. Be more kind and watch that personal capital, which is the value that you bring to relationships. Watch that personal capital grow if you make room to be more kind. That's number 3. Number 4 is be more gracious. I'm probably going to say this is my favorite only because it reminds me of my sister Vanessa. And if you've read my book, The Gratefulness Journey, every day I talk about my sister Vanessa and her lessons to me about graciousness. And I shared the other night a lesson or an experience that reminded me of the lesson, where I invited someone to dinner and they plus two'd me. They brought 2 people that I did not invite, and they did not let me know that they were bringing the 2 people. We ended up splitting the dinner bill in an interesting way, but we did nonetheless. And I did that because I was trying to be gracious, to be a gracious host, even though I thought it was quite rude. It was quite insensitive to be invited somewhere. I invited someone and they brought 2 people. And those 2 people fully didn't intend to pay. But I was gracious. And I want to be more gracious, because I think being generous without looking for reciprocity, extending grace without expecting a repayment, is a great way to lead and live in love. Being gracious. That's number 4. And number 5 is reading. Really, it's learning, but it's reading. I read quite a bit for work, quite a bit of some of everything in human resources. You read some of everything. But I also, read a lot in the law, employment law, and different rules and different contracts and different policies, different frameworks. I'm always, reading stuff. I want to just read things that are going to fill me up and that are going to inspire me to learn something new, to do something new, to be something new, to stretch my creativity even more, to stretch my critical thinking, to stretch my imagination. I think these 5 things will bring me into the place that I want to be. But if I put them off for another year or another 2 years, God forbid I don't have to, but I hope to have until I'm 94. But if you put these things off, whatever they are for you, and you decide, well, I got time, I'll just do them later. If not now, when? You may find yourself 2 years later in the same spot. So I'm going to challenge you tonight, whether you're watching on LinkedIn. That's why I tuned you in tonight, LinkedIn. I normally don't tune you in for love and stuff. I'll ask you to come to Facebook. But I thought it was an important time to share with everybody everywhere, to challenge you as I'm challenging myself in this double nickel, this double grace. My number is 5, right? You can choose whatever number you feel is applicable to you. I'm choosing 5 because I'm 55, double grace. 5 things that I can focus in on that will help me to improve myself with the goal of a higher self-actualization, a higher expression of the love that God has designed to be unlocked in me for this world, which or maybe you don't, that He's designed a certain amount to be unlocked in you in this world. And the way it exponentially reaches or grows is based on what's that measure that's in you. So I am expecting, right, some meaningful impact as a result of it, but to become my better self, maybe best self, maybe highest expression of self by pursuing 5 things, pursuing them more. And again, for me, they are more prayer. And as I mentioned, I like to go throughout the day, just that's my way. It's mostly more conversational about as I navigate throughout the day. And then it just has been my journey that people will call or email or text and say, pray for this, pray about this. Can we pray together? Right. And I am a person that when someone does that, I don't typically say, okay, I'm going to call you later, or okay, I'm going to write it on my list. I pray right then. Not so much the fear that I'll forget, but I just want to get tapped in. And sometimes it's connecting other people to be tapped in right when I can, just redeeming the time that I have. But I want to be more intentional as I pray for our world, as I pray for our Black leadership, as I pray for people to be awakened from apathy in our world. I want to pray and then ask God to speak back to me. Okay, how can I be a part of the systems and processes that move people to change? So I want to be more intentional in the prayer. I want to be more disciplined. Not just body's a big part of it, right? Diet. There are meds I want to get off. I don't know about you. There are I know I need to do more exercising, right? There are things about the physical that I need to do, but there are things about the spiritual, about the emotional, right? The mental, right? That I could discipline with my time, with many other aspects, right? And for me, it is building these small habits consistently to move toward a more disciplined aspect of my life, whichever area that is for me, right? Being more kind. It's not a world where kindness is the order of the day, but I think when it comes to the value of your relationships, you can really shift those relationships with kindness. And I want to have more kindness, and I think more kindness will beget more kindness. Okay, I believe I'm kind, but I'm awfully direct, and I want to be more kind. I want to be more gracious, right? More benevolent, more generous with care for those that don't even know they need it, right? Extending more grace, extending more olive branches to those that need it most, right? And I want to engage in more reading, and not for scholarly sake, right? Or academic sake, which would be great, right? But more that's going to expand my thinking, challenge my perspective, expand the borders of my imagination and creativity, and challenge my critical thinking. Those are my 5. Now I'm asking you to think about your number. Again, your number might not be 5. Mine is 5 is that number of grace. It's double grace for me. It's because I'm turning 55, but you may say, I only want to do one thing. Kudos to you. You might say, I'm turning 60, so I want to do 6 things. Kudos to you. I want to challenge you to do it. And I want you to hear this. If not now, when are you going to challenge yourself to take yourself to the next level? Because we all have a next level, whether you're 1 or 91. There is something more for you to accomplish. You are here. There's something more for you to be or become. You are here. So it's not all laden in the doing. It starts with the being. Are you to become more kind? Are you to become more generous? Are you to become a voice? What are you to become? More of, or different, or greater, or deeper? What is to happen? And if it is to happen, if not now, when? I want you to contemplate that. We're at 9:36, and I've appreciated everyone who has come, whether you're watching on LinkedIn Live, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube events, Instagram, or TikTok. I appreciate you. Live out purpose on purpose. Hello, Dr. V from V Encouragement Ministries. I hope you're watching her. She's an amazing member of our Love and Stuff community, but she does her amazing V Encouragement on Tuesdays as well. Make sure you tune in to her. Living out purpose on purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want you to join me in challenging people, Dr. V, in becoming their highest selves, the higher expression. You're not just a fill in the blank, whatever it is that you do, right? Now, what is the next level for you? And if not now, when? When will you do it? If you've been saying, I know I have a friend who's been saying, I'm gonna lose weight. And I said, if you take the gonna out of that, and she said, I'ma lose weight. I said, if you take the I'ma out of that, I'm lose weight. Say, okay, let's take that lose and put some movement in it. I'm losing weight. Well, the only way that's going to happen is if you start losing weight. You're going to have to do something. Or you say, I'm going back to school. Okay, take that going. I'm back to school. Are you? You have to make some movement. As I challenge myself, yes, yes. Let's challenge each other. That's why I said, as I was sharing on, I think the birthday or next day, one of the days, or someone was saying, this is a master class. You might want to go back on that page and watch it. I think it was only on the Marcus Our Homes page, I think. But basically, I was saying most people need, a lot of people have coaches, and that's great, or mentors, and that's great, so long as they check in with you, right? Coaches are just generally motivated to check in with you because you're paying them mostly. So a coach is gonna check in with you. Same with a trainer, right? You pay a trainer, he or she better check in to see how you're working out. They better show up, right? But when you have an accountability partner, someone that you're not paying, they're not paying you, but they're committed to, I'm sorry, it's trying to tell me something I'm not doing on TikTok. TikTok be giving me the blues. They're committed and invested in your outcomes, and they don't get anything. They don't get a commission. They don't get a hug. They don't get sex. They don't get love. All they get is the feeling to know that they're part of your fruition. They're part of your coming of age. They're part of your future. When you have a group of accountability partners that you can just check in with once a month and say, okay, you said you were going to do this. Are you doing it? And we'll challenge you to say, now, why aren't you? What can I help you think about differently or help you move out the way so you can get moving, so you can get back on track, so you can get to where you're going? That is what I am asking people to join me in doing. We will have an accountability partnership that will come together just to check in and say, you know what, I haven't done so well this week, this month, once a month. I haven't done so well this month. And so that's okay, but you can get back up and try it again. Because if you don't start today and you say, I'm going to start tomorrow, tomorrow will be 2026. If not now, when? Oh, I said it. I promise you I said it. I said that because I love avocado, I was going to follow one of the recommendations is 3 times a week, have your avocado toast, an egg, boiled egg preferably, and yogurt. I'm not a big fan of the Greek kind of yogurt, but I will eat a Yoplait, right? But it's a little much sugar in there for me. And instead, I had the sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich with a mayo and tomato. I said, I'll start it tomorrow. But then what happens when tomorrow is a repeat of yesterday? And it can be unless you make a decision to do something differently. Now, that's just one area. It's a booger for me because food is my comfort, it's my love. I'm a foodie of sorts, but I've got to think about food differently, right? I can't live to eat, I have to eat to live. Kind of. You know what I'm saying? So I had to think about my relationship with food. But that might be something different for you. It could be your relationship with your boo or bae that is eating you alive. And you know you have to do something differently. It could be the traumas of your past that are eating you alive, that are telling you you won't ever amount to anything, you won't ever accomplish anything, that whatever you've accomplished, this is it, that you've reached your plateau and you can do no more. Because of your past, because of past failures, because of past decisions, now you just can't do anymore. But when do you say, if not now, this one more try in me? If not now, when? And that's all I want to challenge you. If you can see me or hear me, and you are a person saying, I just know there is more for me, I want you to challenge yourself and go after that more. Wherever it is, whatever it is, whomever it is, however it should manifest, I want you to challenge yourself by saying, what do I need to do? What do I need to focus on to get there, to position myself to be there? Sometimes our efforts are more about pruning and positioning than they are about moving, because the progress often happens resultant of the pruning and positioning. You don't even know that pruning and positioning is placed you in progress, is a form of movement toward where you want to go. But pruning, as painful as it can be, is action. It is movement. It is not sitting still, right? Positioning is movement. It might be subtle. It might feel more like pivots, right? It might be a little tuck here and this here, but it's movement. And it's important to take action now. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And I'll be back again to share those, not just on Tuesday night, because I want there to be groups of accountability partners wherever you are. If you decide there's an accountability partner group in your area, or you feel comfortable just with a virtual group, because everybody needs an accountability partner that is just invested in you. No other motive. Have you ever met somebody says, well, if he hits a lick, then I'm gonna hit a lick? No, not that person. If she thin out, then we can have great this. Not that person. The person who says, I just believe that you're going to make it this time, that you're going to do it. I feel it. I see it on you. That's the accountability partner that you want. That says, you got the goods. You got something special there. And I just want to stand in partnership with you, in agreement with you, that it's going to happen this time for you. What can I, just to have that positive incubator that says, yes, you can and will. And if that makes any sense to you, I want you to inbox me wherever you are so that I can connect with you and connect you with all of us who are going to be walking together in accountability. Well, it's 9:45. I'm beyond my time. I love loving stuff. I love this community. I love this work. I am an imperfect founder in doing it, but I promise you that my goal is to increase the amount of love in the world, one heart, one person at a time. And I ask the Lord to let it begin with me, to increase the amount of love I have for him, for myself, for my community, for family, for friends, for enemies. And that isn't always easy, pretty work, but it's worth it. And I hope that you will join us in that work. It's an imperfect work because I'm imperfect, but there is a perfect love who's guiding and leading us down this path, and I hope that you will join us on this path as well. I want to bid you good night, but I want to show you this video from MJ from Shies of Sunset about the gratefulness journey every day, and bid you a grateful night. I hope you will click share and tag 5 of your closest friends, subscribers, followers, or connections to join in the conversation about healthy boundaries and to join in the conversation about accountability. Be good to yourself and others.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're going to check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and died, saved by love, count my blessings.